Hello, my name is Edna and I am from Canada, and I am very happy to be part of this beautiful project of the youth of the American Union. And as many might know, we are studying the 12 tribes, and I was assigned the last tribe, which is the tribe of Benjamin. So I will be talking about many things that I learned. In my own experience, I did not know a lot about the tribes, so this helped me a lot to learn just in general about the Bible. And so the story of Benjamin starts with Rachel, who was Benjamin's mother, and it was when she was giving birth. So unfortunately, Rachel died when she was giving birth, but the name of Benjamin was not always Benjamin. His name was actually Benoni, and that was the name that she wanted to give him when she was giving birth. And the meaning of it is the son of my sorrow. And but Jacob named him Benjamin because maybe he thought that this was going to bring him bad luck, having this name Benoni. And Benjamin means son of my right hand. And as we might know, Rachel was the wife that Jacob loved the most, and he had two sons with Rachel, and one of them was Benjamin. And well, now we can see that he really loved Benjamin when Jacob sends all his sons to Egypt when there's a big famine, and but he doesn't send Benjamin. And what I thought it was that Benjamin wasn't sent to Egypt was because he was too young, but it's also that because he was the youngest, but also because Jacob loved Benjamin so much. And something that I learned here is that Benjamin was already old enough. Let's say he already had 10 sons at that time when he went to all his brothers went to Egypt. And now we will go and see more about the tribe of Benjamin. Not a lot is mentioned about Benjamin as an individual, but there is more things that are mentioned as a tribe. So that is what we're going to learn today and talk about. So as Sister Damaris mentioned in another video, if you want, you can go watch what she talked about, one of the tribes. And we don't really understand if the blessing that Jacob gave to his sons, or some of his sons, was really a blessing or a curse. And I'm going to read the blessing that was given to Benjamin, and we will go to Genesis 49. So that is Genesis 49, and that's going to be the verse 27. Genesis 49. And the verse 27. So it reads, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. So this is an interesting blessing that Jacob gave to Benjamin. And this is not really something, it doesn't describe a character that someone will like to have, to envy. It says, raven as a wolf, in the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. So this, we can maybe understand it because Benjamin was, let's say, the only child that really was left from Rachel, because we know that Joseph was killed, let's say, by in the wilderness. That's the story that Jacob thought how his son died, but truly we know that he was in Egypt. But so Jacob loved his son Benjamin very much, so he took care a lot of Benjamin, and we know that was one of the mistakes that he did, to really love some of his sons more than the others. So this is the blessing that Jacob gave to Benjamin. So now we will go to more in depth of the tribe of Benjamin. And the tribe of Benjamin was known for being very violent, and they were also left-handed. that is something that I learned. And they were also men of archery. They were only kind of the only tribe that pursued that archery, and they were very, very good at what they did. And we're going to go to First Chronicles. So that's going to be First Chronicles. First Chronicles, and that is going to be the chapter number 8. And the verse 40. So in this one it says, and the sons of Ulam were mighty men of valor, archers, and had many sons and sons' and 150. All these are the sons of Benjamin. So that's one of the parts, and we're going to go to Judges 20. Judges 20, and the verse 15 to 17. And it says, and the children of Benjamin were numbered at that time out of the cities 20 and 66,000 men that drew sword, beside the inhabitants of Gibeah, which were numbered 700 chosen men. Among all these people there were 700 chosen men, left-handed. Everyone could sling stones at an hair breadth and not miss. And the men of Israel beside Benjamin were numbered 400,000 men that drew sword. All these were men of war. So here we see that it's mentioned that they were left-handed, they pursued archery, and they were very good at what they did. So they were known for violence. And I want to talk about a story, which it's a very sad story, let's say, and I'm not going to read it all because it's long. It's in the book of Judges as well, and is the story of the Levite and his concubine. And this is the chapter 19. So if you want to read it, it's Judges 19, all the story, and you can go also to the chapter 20. So basically I'm going to say a little bit about the story. And it was a man, a Levite, as it says, and he was traveling, and he stopped somewhere in Gibeah because he was tired and it was already night with his concubine. And one man, an old man, told them to go to his house, and that's what they did. But the men of this city, who were from the tribe of Benjamin, wanted the old man to give the Levite to them because they wanted to kill him. But the men said no. And at the end, they did not kill him, but they took his concubine, and they ended up abusing her and taking advantage of her all night and leaving her to die. So the next morning when the Levite was going to continue his trip, he saw that his concubine was dead. So the idea that he had was that he was going to cut her in pieces, in 12 pieces, and he that is in verse 29, if I believe. Yes, and I'm just going to read it. It says, and when he was coming to his house, he took a knife and laid hold of his concubine and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces and sent her into all the coast of Israel. So he sent the pieces of her body to all the 12 tribes, and this was to kind of say, hey, something happened. The men of this city of Gibeah did this to my concubine, and they wanted, let's say, revenge. So what happened in the chapter 20 is that all the tribes of Israel united together, and they went and made war with the tribe of Benjamin. And they also asked the Lord, will we destroy all the tribe of Benjamin? And the Lord allowed them to go and fight against the tribe of Benjamin. And they did this many times. And at the end, it says that only 600 men were left of the tribe of Benjamin. So this is really nothing. And all the children, all the women were also killed. So only 600 men were left. And more in other chapters, it says that all the tribes of Israel promised that they were not going to give any of the women to them as wives. So what they did was that they stole from the wives, the women from Jabesh Gilead and Silo, for the men who were left of the tribe of Benjamin. So here we see that the Lord punished the tribe of Benjamin because of what they were doing. And so that's what they did. They killed this woman and abused of her, so the Lord punished them. And but at the end, we see now that more as the years went by, the tribe of Benjamin, this really helped them to understand what they did and go closer to the Lord. So we go many years more, and we're going to talk about Samuel. Samuel was from one of the cities, part of the tribe of Benjamin. And we know that Samuel preached all around the cities. And a story says that so the Philistines made war against Israel, and they took the Ark of the Covenant. And but the Ark was returned to them very quickly, because the Lord made a miracle, and the Ark was returned to one of the cities that was part of the tribe of Benjamin, and it stayed there for 20 years. And the name of the city was Kirjat Jearim, so very hard to mention to say, but that was the city, and it stayed there for 20 years. And also there was a place where all the assemblies of the Israelites were made, and is at Mizpeh, which the great assemblies of Israel were held, and this was part of the tribe of Benjamin. So we see that now we're mentioning more people, important places, important people that were part of the tribe of Benjamin. So after all the bad things that happened to the tribe of Benjamin, we see that also that they also played a big role in the history of Israel. And that's where we're going to talk about the blessing that Moses gave to the tribe of Benjamin. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 32 and verse 12. So 33, Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 12. And it says, "And of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders." So some may refer the first part of it says that the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, because the temple of the Lord was built on Mount Moriah, so which was within the borders of the tribe of Benjamin. So this is why some people might say this about the first part. And the second part can refer to the protection the Lord gives, and he gave through men and women who were descendants of the tribe of Benjamin. And that's why I want to mention some characters, some men and women that were part of the tribe of Benjamin, and the Lord used them. So the first one was Ehud. He was a deliverer of the people of God from the Moabites, and he brought peace. He was called by the Lord, and this is found in Judges 3 verse 14 to 30. So I just want to read one verse where he was called by the Lord, and it says, so that is Judges 3 and the verse 15. I'm going to read. It says, "But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised them up a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present into Eglon, the king of Moab." So here we see he was left-handed, as I mentioned before. The Benjamites were known because they were left-handed. Many of them were left-handed. And he was the deliverer of the people of Israel at that time, with the king who was there was the Eglon, the king of Moab. So if you can go read the story. And he was a Benjamite. The other person that I want to mention was that the first king of Israel was Saul, and Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin, and the Lord was with him until Saul departed from the Lord, and that's where his wolf-like character was shown for years when he was chasing David. So we see that the blessing, let's say that the Jacob gave, was that they were going to be like a wolf, right? But here, that's when it says, that's where we see with Saul that his wolf-like character is shown, and when he was chasing David to kill him because he was jealous. The other character that I want to talk about is Mordecai and Esther, who were from the tribe of Benjamin as well, and who as well they saved the people of Israel in the time of the king Ahasuerus. And we see that the whole life of Mordecai was a series of deliverance through the after deliverance, because we remember that he did save the king of Persia at that time when he heard that some people wanted to kill the king of Persia. So he went and he told the king that people wanted to kill him. So after that, the Lord used that when all the Jews were in danger because they were going to be killed. So the Lord reminds the king of Persia what Mordecai did, and through Esther and Mordecai, well, the Jewish at that time, the Jewish nation was saved because of them, and they were, as I said, from the tribe of Benjamin. The last person I want to mention is Paul, the Apostle Paul. We know that we can see that clear difference from the wolf-like who goes after his prey, and then after his change to a disciple of the Lord. And we see this because before, we know that his name was Saul, and he used to destroy and kill the followers of the Lord. But the Lord made him a call and changed his life. And now, well, the Lord was protecting him, as we see here in the verse 12 what Moses said about the tribe of Benjamin. So these are the people that I wanted to mention of the tribe of Benjamin. And we can see a little summary, and I want to mention these things. So basically, we were talking about that Benjamin had 10 sons, from whom sprang this tribe of Benjamin. And that's found in Genesis 46:21. I'm not going to read, but I just want to mention them. If you want to read them, you can read them after. And second, it says, when they entered the promised land, and the tribe of Benjamin numbered 45,600 men. So remember that when I said that only 600 men were left. And also, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that the Benjamites were noted for archery, that's what we talked about, and for being left-handed. So that it can be found in 1 Chronicles 8 and verse 40, and also in 2 Chronicles 17:17. And so Ramah, that was the city where Samuel was from, and was within the borders of Benjamin. So he was from the tribe of Benjamin. And Mizpeh, where they did their great assemblies, was in the land of Benjamin as well. And the characters that I mentioned was Ehud, who judged Israel 80 years, and that's found in Judges 3 and verse 21-26. Also Saul, who was the first king of Israel, and Mordecai, whom the Lord used to save Israel in the days of Esther. So that can be found in Esther chapter 2 and verse 5. And the last one was Paul, the leading apostle to the Gentiles. So here we see the story of the tribe of Benjamin. How in the beginning, who was Benjamin, how it was shown in their character what Jacob said about the blessing that they gave him. He gave Benjamin, and also after the big event of them killing this woman, and how they changed and how the Lord used them, and how he used the people from this tribe of Benjamin. So I really hope that you were able to learn a lot more about the tribe of Benjamin, and please let me know if you know more things, so like that I can learn a lot more, because I know there's a lot more to know about the tribe of Benjamin. So I hope that you were able to learn something, and thank you so much for listening to my description, let's say, of the tribe of Benjamin.